Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Empower Series podcast. My name is Clifton Johnson. I'm the founder of the Empower Series, and I'm here with my guest, my son, Tyler Simon Johnson. How you doing, Tyler?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, last week we talked about how to transform your mindset in 5 easy steps. Today we're going to talk about morning routines, but there's a connection now, right? So the first podcast we talked about the mastering your mindset. And the 5 easy ways of doing that is number 1, being aware of what our current subconscious thoughts are. Number 1, 2, intentfully changing those using affirmations. 3, having goals and making sure they're specific. 4 is building a budget and tracking your spending. And 5 is really committing to sound money management behaviors and habits. When we can make a commitment, that's about building systems. That's about surrounding ourselves with people who are going to inspire us. And more importantly, it's about having a routine. So that's why we're talking about routines right now. So morning routines. Now, Tyler can attest, my morning routines can be kind of sporadic, right?
Yeah.
But how many of us wake up in the morning like feeling like ready to go at it? Do you feel that way, man?
Sometimes,
right? But we can all do a better job. But I'll tell you, we're going to talk about this because it's critically important if it comes to you really starting off your day right. That morning hour of being intentful with self-care or exercise or whatever is important to you can really start your day off right. Imagine this. Imagine you wake up and you hit the snooze button several times. And then you forgot, you didn't hear the last snooze button. So you're rushing out the house, you got some burnt toast in your hand, you're trying to catch your train or whatever to get to your job, and you're rushing. Imagine that kind of day is going to be the beginning of a very stressful day. But then let's step back and rewind that and just think you wake up and you wake up calmly and you're intentfully starting your day with something that is self-care. So whether it's meditation, whether it's exercise, or whether it's journaling or whatever that is, you ease into your day with the intention of accomplishing your goal and have a very productive day. So you can imagine things that's going to happen that day is going to be totally different. So it's very important to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the importance of having a morning routine, give you some examples of some successful people and their morning routines. I'm going to share with you my morning routine. Tyler, you might share yours, right? And all of this is to help you form your own morning routine because there's no one size fit all. But the importance of this and the science behind it is that if you start off your day, your first hour of your day, with some intention and self-care, it can literally transform your life. I'm going to give you an example of how that has transformed somebody's life before. But before we dig into it, I definitely want you to do this. The Empower Series will only be known by somebody if you share it. So take the link and share it with somebody else. Like us, subscribe to our channel. We not only do podcasts, but we do programs on a monthly basis on the third Saturday of every month. We're out there in the city somewhere in Dallas, but we're streaming live, really empowering people's lives. Our mission is to positively impact the world by inspiring people to thrive in every area of their lives, which is all possible because the principles to be successful in one area are transferable, right? All right, so please like us, share us, don't keep us a secret. Now let's dig into morning routines. So morning routines, Tyler.
Yeah.
Do you have a morning routine?
I do have a morning routine actually.
Is it intentionally or is it like what?
Well, I mean, it's very intentional. I think I'm in school right now, I'm in grad school, and I remember, coming from an undergraduate perspective and coming from a perspective of wanting to have all these goals and aspirations, I kind of learned very quickly about how kind of having consistency in your routine and having kind of like a building block for like getting your day started is something that's really important. And so, yeah, I like to get into this kind of thick of my own morning routine in grad school because it's changed, but now kind of in grad school, it's a little different. It's more structured. For me, I like to wake up, I have an alarm clock, and then I kind of do my morning affirmations. I have to use it, like there's several applications out there, but I like to use one called I Am. And every day they kind of give you an arrangement of different affirmations based upon your goals and interests. So I do my affirmations in bed. From there, I like to take a cold shower. I will say that I remember in passing, someone told me about There's this like book about how if you take cold showers in the morning,
Uh-huh.
it kind of sets you up to kind of take bigger risks. It kind of sets you up
Really?
to be more like
Okay.
on the edge of your seat. I don't know what book that was, and I kind of heard that thought, and I was like,
Is it
that
true
sounds.
though?
I mean, I don't know. I never looked, did not look into it at all, but I decided from that point on, I would be doing a cold shower to start my day.
Okay.
And then from there, it's like I make coffee. I like the routine of it. It's very sensorial. Like you kind of have the aspects of grinding the beans and brewing the coffee, and then I sip on that, and then I walk to school. It's a very simple kind of morning routine, but for me, that really works. Kind
Okay.
of setting my day up, you know.
Well, I'll tell you this. They say that setting up a morning routine is very important. So here's the science on it, right? First off, 7 out of 8 people have some type of morning routine. And it increases your productivity. 77% of the highly effective leaders have some type of morning routine. Also, 42% report that if they have a morning routine, they start their day off less stressful, and their day is less stressful. They can handle things that come up that are unplanned. Also, they sleep better. They have a high mood. The mood is boosted, and they have a greater sense of well-being. So there's science that supports the fact that having a morning routine is critical to just living a better life, right? As opposed to not having one.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we all have a morning routine, whether we know it or not, because we're doing something. Either we're unconscious about it or we're intentful with our morning routine. Plato says the beginning is the most important part of our work. So how we wake up really sets the tone. So you gave us your morning routine. I'm going to share with you some examples of some very successful people who you may have heard of, right? So Tim Cook. He's the CEO of Apple. He wakes up at 4:30 every morning, and he spends an hour checking his emails and just planning his day before he heads out to the gym. So that's a very simple morning routine for him. But Michelle Obama, the former First Lady, she gets up early to exercise, followed by a healthy breakfast with her family, because she prioritizes spending time with her loved ones before she starts her day. Then we got Jack Dorsey. So Jack Dorsey is the co-founder of Twitter, as well as Square. So he knows, or he's known really for being a minimalist with his routines. He wakes up at 5:30 every morning, he meditates for 30 minutes, and then he goes for a jog. And then we've got Serena Williams, right? Serena Williams, the tennis champion. She starts her day off with protein-rich breakfast. And then what she does is she just visualizes her goals on the court. So mental visualization. A lot of Oprah Winfrey, a couple more. Oprah Winfrey, she starts her days off with her meditation. She sets her intention for a very powerful day. And then Ariana Huffington, she is the founder of the Huffington Post. She prioritizes sleep, which a lot of people do, and she starts her day off with quiet reflections. So with mine, now you shared yours, I'll share mine. So my morning routine is I wake up in the morning very slowly, and I start stretching in the bed, and I have a sense of gratitude. I say gratitude prayers because number one, I woke up. There's some people who went to bed last night, they didn't wake up. So I start with gratitude. Thank you for allowing me to wake up. Let me stretch and let me do something positive and effective today. Then after I stretch in bed, then I get up and I look at my vision board. Look at my vision board, say my affirmations, and I go into a 20-minute meditation. And then after I do that, I would like to do some kind of workout. So it's either a Peloton, yoga, or something on the mat. Something a little bit more engaging to get my blood flowing. Drink my water. And then lastly, on my way to work, I call Aunt Zelma. So I call Aunt Zelma. I sometimes talk to her. I like to talk to Aunt Zelma. She's my aunt. I love you, Aunt Zelma. Sorry we missed our call. I got your voicemail. You were probably still sleeping. But I always want to touch base with my Aunt Zelma, either through text messages or throughout the day. So for me, that's my ideal start. But there are times where if I'm running late, I might miss some of those, right? So I believe that we can all be more intentful and effective if we're consistent with a morning routine. So I'll give you an example of another person who had a morning routine, and we can probably relate to this. This is a single mom. So she's a single mom, she has 2 jobs, and she typically wakes up very frazzled, right? She's running to catch the bus, and she gets to work, and she's dealing with a stressful day. She gets home, and she's also stressed, not enough time to get all the things done in her life, right? So that's how her day was typically. But then she read an article once about having a morning routine, and what she did is she just started very slowly. She thought she would wake up 30 minutes earlier, and she would have a cup of coffee. So that's all she did. And then after she had her cup of coffee, she started doing some light yoga. Now, fast forward, she has now done a lot more. And just by doing that, she's given herself, like, that's her hour of self-care. She after work now, she's come home, she's calm, and she does more journaling. Now, her goal and her dream is to be a writer. And what she has done over the course of a year, she has transformed her life remarkably. Now, her mornings become her sacred time. She's focused and energized. She tackles her work with newfound efficiency. Her evenings no longer are stolen by stress, right? And she's dedicated to writing. Within a year, she's finished a manuscript. She landed a literary agent, and all thanks to the power of a well-formed routine. And that's all it is. Her story is a testament in the power of small, consistent changes and how that can transform your life. So I believe if we are intentful, we'd come up with a morning routine that is tailored for us. So the takeaway is that everybody's morning routine there's not one size fit all. What's good for you, it may not be good for me, but whatever it is, if we are intentful in consistently doing it and taking small steps, we can literally transform our lives. So here's what I would like to do. I would like to assist us in building the morning routine. So here are the things that we need to include in our morning routine. There's 4 steps. Number 1, make it small. Don't try to achieve the world or build the skyscraper in one day. So if you got to wake up earlier, wake up 15 minutes earlier and maybe just relax, or whatever your intention is. If it's exercise, do something physical, or if it's more mental, do something like more meditative, or write in a journal. 15, 30 minutes early. At some point you can build up to that. So that's step number 1. Identify your priorities. So like I was saying, so is your priority more physical, or is it mental, or what might it be? Reflect on your goals and then let that dictate your routine. And then also be consistent. One of the things you can do is build a schedule and like mark out your schedule for 7 days, check off your box and make sure you're doing it on a consistent basis for 7 days, then build it to 14 days, maybe 30 days, and just make it consistent from that perspective. But don't beat yourself up, right? Listen to your body. If you're not a morning person, but you're an evening person, don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole, right? Build something that works for you. But I would tell you that building this routine is critically important. So for you, Tyler, you have a routine for your grad school. Tell me about your routine now, because you're gonna start your internship, right, this summer in New York. And who are you gonna be working for?
It's a company called Invisible North.
Okay, and tell me about that company, and then what kind of routine will you have during the summer that's different than your college routine?
For sure, yeah. So the company itself is a marketing agency, and for them, I'm going to be working as a 3D designer intern for this summer. And for me, it's a little different, I would say, for sure, because in graduate school, I have a very consistent schedule every week. It's very similar. But for this new role that I'll be taking, it's a hybrid position, which I anticipate working mostly in office. But there's going to be those days where where I have to kind of go on my own schedule and kind of find out the space to be doing work, like a coffee shop, etc. So for me, I think again, it's going to follow a pretty similar like language that my undergrad or my graduate kind of morning routine follows. But I think now it's going to, instead of like kind of walking to class, just a kind of finding a new coffee shop to do work at, or going into the office, or like accounting for the transportation, So it's just going to change slightly, but I think the same steps and same principles that I've been using for graduate school are actually going to be very applicable to what my internship kind of will be dictating that I need to do.
Okay, so how about this? Imagine this. Imagine if we both work together. So accountability is very important. Identify a morning routine that makes sense for us, and then share that with somebody. Yeah. I'm going to share mine with yours. Well, we'll share mine with yours. I'm going to share mine with you. And mine is going to be what I just laid out to you, because my goal is to be more consistent with it. I know what I want to do. I know that in the morning, I want to start with gratitude and light stretches in the morning. I want to make sure I'm looking at my vision board, and I might share that in a podcast with you, my vision board and affirmations and my meditation. And then I want to do some kind of physical activity, as you know, right? I need to do physical activity. And then contacting someone that I love, like my Aunt Zelma or somebody in my family. Those are my 4 areas, and I want to be consistent with it. So I'm going to lay that out for you. and I'll just touch base with you on a regular basis. And I will encourage you to do the same thing. So let's take action on this idea. First action is to start small. Start identifying what are the one few things that you're going to do differently. If you already have a morning routine, because most people do have one, you might just want to be more consistent with it or add something to it. But just start, let's say you're going to wake up a little bit earlier, 15, 30 minutes earlier, and you're going to start something that is more intentful around your self-care. So you identify what it is, and you can share what you want to do in the comment section below the video. I would say sharing it is a good way of being accountable for it. And then number two, share it with somebody else. So like I'm going to be partnering with Tyler, you partner with someone. So it could be your family member, your friend, but don't do it alone, because two people doing something it's having an accountability partner is key to getting anything done. I always tell people that nothing of significance can ever be done alone. So partner and share this with someone else. Number two, I would say listen to yourself. So if your morning routine is in the morning, don't do something so strenuous. If you're not a morning person, do something very slow. But if you want to get at it in the morning, you're going to attack the world. Then identify your morning routine that fits your body. And I would tell you, let's commit to doing this for the next 12 months and see where we are. Because I believe a long-term plan would do a couple of things. It will really embed your habits. Number one, it will make your habits more consistent. It will increase your productivity and focus. It will improve your sleep pattern, and it would also enhance your well-being. And more importantly, if you have long-term goals, it will help you accomplish your long-term goals. So I believe that if we work together and make this, what is it called? The Rise and Shine Intentional Hour, right? Rise and Shine Intentional Hour, that we can make a big difference in our lives and influence the people that we love as well. So please provide us with your comments. Very simple. So what are the takeaways? Identify your own personalized routine. There's no one size fit all, but just identify something. Start small, but be consistent with it and share it with somebody else. I want to thank you for joining us today for this short podcast on morning routines. It's going to transform your life. It's the foundation for transforming your life. Stay connected with the Empower Series. If you have any questions, you can email us at thrive@empowerseries.com. You can also connect with us on any of our social media platforms. We're on YouTube right now, so definitely subscribe. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Don't keep us a secret. Share us with somebody else. On the third Saturday, we are going to do a program next month in June. We're going to do a program on home buying. So stay connected with us. You can be at the program. It's in Dallas at the African American Museum. Starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. We will begin live streaming at 10:30. And that's on the third Saturday of every month. We're going to deal with the topic. So until we meet again, I want you to be empowered and inspired to thrive.